Hello everybody, I'm the Kaito and welcome to a new video. The developers of Trials of Mana Remake have already confirmed that there will be no multiplayer in this game, because they want to make the perfect single-player RPG experience. Well, all good and such, but many people really like the co-op. And also I did. So here are now my ideas how the multiplayer problem can be solved in the Trials of Mana Remake. So my first idea would be that a local co-op could be possible, but only with 2 people. In general, it is just a simple split-screen co-op where the second player is having the exact same menu and shortcuts for spells and items like the first player is having. So you can team up with a friend and blast your way through the monsters. This could be an idea, but many people are not really fans of split-screen. That's why we could do this a little bit differently on local. The camera could be set to a certain position and keep there, so every character is on screen all the time. But there's a problem. It seems that the whole map of a dungeon or field is already loaded when you leave the city, for example. So it seemed that there are not really loading zones between. That's why I will come up with a new idea now. The next idea is an online co-op multiplayer. Yeah, this could be a bit bad because you need the console and the game twice or even 3 times and a membership of Nintendo Online or PlayStation Plus. But why 3 players? The original just got a co-op for 2 people. That's right, but my idea, and with modern technology, it could be possible to do even a 3-player co-op. So hear me out how this all works. First of all, the online multiplayer is not accessible at the beginning of the game. Now, when you are having all 3 of your party members and made the most of the prologue, then you have access to the multiplayer. How do I access the multiplayer now? It's really simple. If you have made all the conditions which are needed for multiplayer, you can access it via a new NPC which is set at every inn in every town of the game. This certain NPC at the inn is really important. You will see very soon why. You can just access there and host or join a game. If you are hosting the game, up to 2 friends can join you on your quest. So how does this work? We can do several options here. Use the party that has been set by the host and just play with them. And the other option is to play with your own main character to join your friend at their quest. But beware, you cannot use the same character twice or even 3 times. For example, my main team is Hawkeye, Reese and Charlotte. If you would join my game as a secondary character, you can of course use Reese or Charlotte if these were your main characters. This character, which will be replaced, will not be deleted. All progress goes for that certain character which is being replaced. But you cannot use Hawkeye if I already am using Hawkeye as my main character. So now for the progress of your characters. As I mentioned before, the progress your friend is making for your sub-character is going on your replaced character. Let's take the Hawkeye, Reese and Charlotte example again. So 2 friends are now joining me on my quest. I play as Hawkeye. My first friend is playing with Kevin, for example. So Reese will be replaced with Kevin and the dialogue in the game will change too, depending on the characters. My second friend is picking Angela. So Charlotte is getting replaced by Angela on this scenario. How about status points? Well, we still don't know if the status points are in the game or not. But if the status points are in the game and you are playing a character which is not fitting for the character that has been replaced, then the game will automatically set the status points recommendedly. For example, if Duran is replacing Charlotte, Duran will probably skill on strength and stamina. But Charlotte will need intelligence and spirit eventually. So the game thinks about what would be the most efficient points for Charlotte in this case. You probably know what I mean. The same thing goes with equipment. If you are playing with your characters and Duran is the replaced character for Charlotte, then Charlotte will get her equipment which she can have at the point of the game where you have stopped playing. And what about class change? The class change is of course also affecting your replaced character. Let's say Duran is becoming a knight, so goes the like path. Then your replaced Charlotte will become a priestess. The character which has been replaced will always go to the same path like your friend is picking while playing with you. While eventually you can talk to your friend for not picking this class because you want to go another path. Because now I will tell you what will happen to the character which is joining you but in his world. So, will the character of your friend level up and change the class too? The answer is no. Before you are joining to a friend, your file will be saved and you will keep on playing at this point where you have stopped before you joined your friend's party. But why? The multiplayer is more for people who are already a bit more into the game and want to support others. Because if you are in multiplayer, the enemies are a bit more tougher than before. More real players, more stronger monsters. But if this is too much for you, you can set the difficulty to normal in the options, of course. The next thing why the joined characters not leveling up too is because your party members shouldn't be choosing randomly which class they are picking, right? And your single player experience is not lacking off and not affecting. There are still some things you need to keep in mind. Your character, which is joining your friend, is not allowed to be much more higher than the character of your friend you are joining. There's a level gap between 5 levels. The reason for that is that it would be too easy to defeat the monsters if you are having an overpowered character with you. And this is my idea how the Mana series team could eventually handle the multiplayer and no real problems would occur. They don't want to add the multiplayer because they want the perfect single player experience, and spells, for example, would freeze the game for a short amount of time. But if everything would happen in real time in the multiplayer and your co-op players would have the same shortcuts and menus like the host is having, nothing would disturb the experience. What do you guys think of my idea? How would you handle the multiplayer problem? Post it in the comments below. This is my idea. Eventually the Mana series team would think about it and give it to us in a future update. But for now, this was everything from me. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so I can grow. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye and see you soon!